Welcome to the voice of the Two Soul Brothers doing big things. I'm your host, Sherrod Cohen, and I got my homie Will B with me, the other co-host. And today we got my man Philip Simmons. What it do, bruh?
What's going on, fellas? What's going
Hey,
on,
hey,
man?
hey.
Glad to have me, man. I'm glad to be having, man. Glad to be here, brother. So appreciate it, man. Thank you guys, man. Thank you so much. Peace.
No. It's good, man, to have you here, man. We need a professional on levels,
Yeah.
some of these things, man, because sometimes they say I fly off.
And we've all been in the situation, so it's a great topic to come up, man. So
So today's topic is life after divorce. Is the grass actually greener on the other side? So
Ooh,
ooh,
I know
wait.
my
ooh,
man,
You're
ooh,
deep in the bag, bro. You went deep in the bag on this one, bro.
hey,
man.
Will fresh. He just
Yeah,
went
I'm
through it.
real fresh. I'm talking September 25th fresh.
All right,
Okay.
all right, all
You know,
right.
and like, goddamn.
Oh,
This
yeah.
topic be coming up because the last time we had a conversation, it was like right after my separation. Remember that ride? And like, what
Yep.
the fuck, man? Really? These conversations just popping up like this? I say, come on, universe, do what you got to do.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, I mean that's definitely something to dive into, man. I don't know whether I'm not necessarily going to minimize it and say, be say congratulations or anything else like that. We just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
Right.
for sure,
yeah, go from
for
that
sure,
point.
for sure.
So I pulled up 10 questions, right? Because I want, keep us, like you say, we're not trying to minimize it. We're trying to keep it professional, but hey, be as personal as you want to be. And the first question is, can you take us back to the moment you knew the marriage was over? And we can
Ooh,
all answer that question. Well, I was divorced. Phil, were you divorced?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
see,
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm saying, we all coming with some yeah, just that's what makes it great, man. That we can all have our perspective towards it.
yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
It's all been different, Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? It's going to be useful for other men who may be in the same situation and don't know when that aha moment appears. You know what I'm saying? Because some
Yeah.
people just sort of stick with it and flow with it, and
Yeah.
don't and still hurt themselves. I was one of those guys for a long time. Just sort of dealing with my shit instead of having that aha moment, going, "Oh man, I really need this. I don't really want it, but I actually need it." You
Right.
know. So I guess
Right.
I'll go first, since I was already speaking on it a little bit.
go ahead, bro.
I
Go
mean,
ahead. Go ahead.
that aha moment happened for me sometime in late January, where what the question was, when did you find out that you didn't want to be in the marriage anymore? What was that? What was that the
When did you
question?
know it was over?
When did I know it was? Oh shit! It was. I realized it was over several months in beforehand, because I was in my very depressed state of mind at that time, and I was feeling unworthy. I was feeling unloved. I was feeling non-purposeful, even though I thought I was doing everything that I needed to do in my relationship for the lady that I was in love with. If she asked for it, I did my best to make it happen. She said I needed to change, I changed. But sometimes the changes that I was making was not benefiting me. I was changing more so for her. So that moment came. She asked me to get out sometime in February. She said she wanted a divorce in February. I knew it was done maybe after Thanksgiving, because I was in my mind. I was thinking like, man, why am I feeling this way? What do I need to do to let her know that I love her, but I'm not happy. Something is not right in the relationship, and I just didn't know how to go about it. So
Okay.
I took a week off. I took 2 weeks off of work. I've never taken off. I lost my dad, my grandmother, my uncle, my cousin, my best friend, and I had never really grieved because I was still just doing me. So I took the week off the first week of January, from January 1st to like the 22nd of January, something like that. And I was in my basement going through my depression, going through my stage, and I had an aha moment. I said it out loud for the first time ever in my life. God, I don't think I want to be married no more. I said, I really don't think I want to do this anymore. I love her, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy with me. So I need to do something. So I was trying to figure out the best possible way to explain to this woman of 40 years that I've been with that I no longer want to do this. Love her with all my heart. Raise my kids. We're great. We're doing things. We're going on date nights. I'm putting in the work, but physically, mentally, I was not there, and that was tough for me, man. So when the scenario sort of came to a head on February 8th, the day my life forever changed, she said, "I want a divorce." I said, "Oh, okay, I understand. I accept that." And I had to because she was tired of me doing the things that I did. I stepped out a few times. Keeping it a buck. I take accountability for everything I did. I stepped out in our relationship, and I have done it many times. So it was to a point where she was just tired, and I get that. But then I said, "Well, check this out. Give me at least 3 to 5 months to get my shit together so I can get out the house." She told me, "No, you need to go now." I said, "But damn, I mean, I know people. I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to go right now." you know, if you're a kid, can you work with a brother? I stay in the basement anyway. Most of the time, I got a bathroom. I got everything I need. Now, nah, I need you gone. So with that being said, thank God for good friends. Somebody took me in, and then the process started going from there. But that moment that I realized it was sometime back right after Thanksgiving, and then that aha moment happened 2 weeks before she actually gave me said, "Hey, I want a divorce." So that's when it actually happened for me. I don't know what it was for you guys, but I was really battling mentally, just going through my life thinking about how my dad was raised. He was young when he had me. I saw multiple women in the life. I saw him doing what he had to do. I thought it was normal to have a wife and a girlfriend, or because when you grew up around it, you figure, oh damn, dad did it, granddad did it, uncles did it. So it sort of becomes a routine. But even though I wanted to break that cycle, as you say, generational curse, you want to break it. I wanted to be the one to break that generational curse. So I vowed not to have a child outside of wedlock. I did vow that. I vowed never to bring anything home. I vowed that. I vowed never to get a divorce because marriage is sacred. It's supposed to be forever, and that's something we vowed together when we was younger. So when that hit me, it was shocking because we had this bond that it was never going to happen, and then it happened. I'm like, damn. So where I'm at right now, I'm in the healing stage. I was just talking to Rod earlier. I went through a moment of emotional breakdown earlier today where I was just like in my tears, missing my wife, missing my children, missing the dynamic of having someone in your life. But I got caught up on the number in my relationship. I had 40 years, 35 years together. It was the number thing as opposed to are you really happy in your relationship? It was more of the facade. When people look, oh man, y'all look good. How long y'all been together? 40 years, nigga. What you talking about, nigga? I got 35 years in the game, boy. I know what I'm doing. Life is good, boy. I'm telling you how to take care of your lady, boy. I was on that shit when I should have been taking care of me. I was putting on the front. You know what I'm saying? So, just being transparent is hell right now, man. It's a tough situation to talk about, but I'm here. I got two other men who've been through something similar to what I've been through, but it's so fresh for me right now. So I appreciate you guys giving me this platform to actually speak on it, because maybe what we do today may help someone down the road say, you know what, I need to let it go because it's not benefiting me. Because my peace and my happiness and tranquility is more important than anything else in this world. Yes, I loved her, and I still love her, but I love myself a little bit more, man. And that's where I'm at with it right now. And we'll dive a little bit more into it as we continue talking. But that's when I had that aha moment. 2 weeks
Okay.
before February 8th. I don't know what date that was, but February 8th will forever be engraved in my head because that's the day my life changed forever.
Wow. You're right. I mean, well, that's dope, man. It really is, bro. Like it really is, man. It's deep because it's funny, man, because I was having a conversation. maybe about a couple weeks ago with a couple brothers, man. Well, actually not a couple brothers with my actually with my nephew and one of his friends. But we get caught into what you just said though. Like as far as like it becomes this numbers game, with most people, you know what I'm saying? It's easy when you see couples and you easily say like, dang, how long y'all been married? And it's an older couple, you know what I'm saying? And I was talking to this older couple and they were like, oh man, woo, you know what I'm saying, 40 years, 30 years. And you like, damn, and I got that thing where you say to yourself, like, damn, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's like, they did that. Like, that's what I want at the end of the day. I'm telling myself that's really what I want. But you don't know what all goes into that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't know what that equates to, what happiness really, everybody defines happiness different. You know what I'm saying? And is being married the equivalent to what we think that is happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like we walk around with that shit. You feel me? Like thinking like, man, if I'm married, then I'm happy and life is great. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. For me, well, I do know. Let me not say I don't know. I do know is the fact of like I heard somebody say something one time, man. If you take how long you've been in your marriage and you put that in or a relationship and you divide that in half, that's really how long you've been breaking up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, that's some
That's some shit right
yeah,
there,
that's
bro.
some shit right there. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say if there was a moment, you see what I'm saying, Sherrod, if I knew like, yeah, this is what it was. I think there was parts in the relationship that I knew during my marriage at the time, like you do in most relationships, like damn, like I don't know if this really is going to be sustainable. You see what I'm saying? If I'm really going to be able to stay here from this point in time, because sometimes it's things that said, it's the way somebody treats you. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was moments for me in my marriage, man, where I mean, I feel you will, say like when you it's divorce is hard, man. Period. Let's not even sugarcoat the shit.
Right, for sure.
It's difficult, bro. It's hard, and I think it's a lot harder. I'm not saying it's a lot harder on men than women because I'm biased if I was to say that, but I'm just gonna say overall that divorce is difficult. Divorce is hard, man. So, and I think our society that we live in don't necessarily give men that option to really articulate themselves and say that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like because a lot of times people like to believe that because divorce ended was things that we done in a relationship. It was most times it's infidelity, right?
yeah,
And so then people just assume like, oh, well, since it's infidelity, then guys don't take divorce as hard as women take it from this point. And I'm so tired of that being like the norm
yeah.
of what that is because it's simply untrue. Love is love. It's an emotion. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
so
sir.
made a commitment to being married. We all made a commitment to like, okay, it's to death do you part, right? That's really what you're trying to do there, right? It's to be to death do you part. And I don't know if it was a moment for me, a particular moment that I knew, but I think at some point for me is a big part on respect. And I was felt like I was just being disrespected in a lot of ways, you know. It's everybody got their levels to it, and at some point, man, when I think I got to the point to where um it was shit that she was saying and doing that I was like, you know what, man, like if she keep doing this shit, like I'm really gonna fucking put my hands on her, you
Mm.
know? And I know that that's what she's gonna want to do because then that gives her like this,
That leverage.
yeah, that leverage. The right,
Yeah,
exactly, Will, that leverage from this point. And and that's not a type of person I am. You know what I mean? So it was like being that type, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I'm doing here? This type of relationship from this point in time. And again, we all got shit happens. I had I cheated at times in my marriage, so I had infidelity. So that's my shit I'm dealing with as well. But I think what comes from that, I think too many times we had these conversations and we focus on that. We focus on, oh, well,
yeah,
it was infidelity, it
yeah,
was this and this and this. And not looking at that betrayal goes different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be betrayed in ways that doesn't have anything to do with infidelity.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I think if there's a moment in time I think I knew for sure that my marriage was over. Um, there's moments that built up to that. But to go back what you said, man, my parents were passing. My mom in particular was passing, and my wife just wasn't there for me. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't there for my mom. Like my mom, like literally, like just out of local thing from Detroit. I know people all across the country going to see this, but so in between, we lived in University District, which is at that run at 6 Mile Livernois area, and her parents lived in Rosedale Park. So she would have to take the kids, her mom would watch the kids or, from this point. And my mom was sick in the hospital at Sinai Grace Hospital. So
Mhm.
that's right in the middle between the two. You literally have to
Yeah,
pass,
yeah,
like, it's
literally.
not even a detour. Like, you literally have to pass this hospital, right,
Right.
every day.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so my mom was like, like, dang, I wish, she would come in. How's she doing? She come and see me, da, da, da. And I would let her know, like, listen, man, my mom just asking for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, blah, blah, blah. And would never go. Like, I'm like, so at some point, I'm like, damn, like, what is it? Like, I could see if her and my mom didn't get along. That wasn't one of those cases, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then I got to be honest and see from things from her perspective. Like, maybe she don't want to see my mom this way. Maybe she got some nervousness. What's her history towards this type of drama, towards or trauma in that way? And at some point, man, this became a big part of of our going through the shit, going through my marriage. And I just felt like the same thing like you, man. It's something about that basement with men in that basement at some point, right? And I just felt like she wasn't there for me. So I want to, say it from this point, like, I needed you. Like, the fact of the matter is, though, it was the worst thing I'm going through in my life. And literally after that, man, 32 days later, literally 32 days later after that, my father passed,
Mm.
both unexpected, you know, and straight up, man, when people be like, "Oh, nigga, you just need a hug." Yeah, nigga, in that moment, I needed a hug.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need somebody to just tell me it was gonna be all right. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
That everything's gonna be okay. And she never did that.
Oh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? She just wasn't there for me from this point. And as a matter of fact, it was just the opposite. It wasn't even that you wasn't there for me. You was beginning to create shit because then after that, we was going through a divorce. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a year later, a couple months later, we already breaking up. Well, it was getting to that point. It was coming to that. And that was the head for me that it was like, damn, and during that time, she had went through my phone, called, I was talking to someone, but I wasn't having sex with the girl. I'm like you said, well, I'm keeping a buck.
Oh, oh,
Um, what the girl did do for me in that moment in time was that she was checking on me. She was there.
that makes a difference.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna be 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even anything sexual, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Um, it was simply that it was times that she would call me like, "Hey, did you eat today?" I'm like, "Damn, shit, did I eat today?" Like, I don't even, I mean, because I'm in grief. I'm grieving. You feel me?
Yeah.
So she was doing things that I would hope that I wanted my wife to do in that moment in time. But I was conscious enough to know, like, I can't be naive enough to be like, okay, I know what this is. But eventually, after a moment in time, it's only a moment. It's only gonna have. Eventually, we're working up towards sex.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? But at that point in time, I just needed somebody, and I don't think my ex-wife ever really realized that. At one point, she asked me, she's like, "Damn, you feel like as if I betrayed you," and I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Damn, I never looked at it like that." You see what I'm saying? So it took years for her to come to that to really realize, like, damn. So for me, that was the point of I needed you, and then now in the midst of we going through all the rest of this type of shit, and it was a really fucked up divorce, like very tumultuous. It's like, I'm gonna take you for this, I'm gonna take you for that, even to the point to where it's like, I my parents had passed, so I had my mom's house, and Sherrod, I live over, my mom where we lived at, grew up at in the hood from this point to the point that even during the divorce proceeding, she was like, "Well, he's staying over there for free, and that should be part of the divorce to take the crib." Like,
Oh, wow.
wait a minute, my mom's crib? Like, come on, dog. Like, now you just
Damn.
really just being difficult. You know what I'm saying? Very, very vindictive, brother. So yeah, so there was moments and times that I knew, um, people do some shit to you sometimes. You just don't think they're gonna do that to you. You see them do
Right.
some shit, you just don't think they're gonna do that to you. Because I've seen her do some very fucked up shit, and at the same time, it was like, yeah, this and this and this. And we had conversations about it, but yeah, you don't realize they're gonna do it to you. So I think that was the biggest moment for me, that moment when she just wasn't there for me when I needed her the most. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
man.
part.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. So
Yeah.
imagine being in that shit, right? Imagine being in it, right? And the thing about it, I'm gonna say this too. It's crazy because people who love you the most know it and they see it. You see what I'm saying? Like people I knew, like not even people that was even close to me. We would go places and people would be like, they would meet me and then they would be like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, this is my wife. And they would be like, I'd have never put the two of y'all together. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah,
And I'm like, damn, yeah,
I
I
had that
can
before
kind of see
too.
what people see now. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had that before as well.
Now, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I knew I shouldn't have never gotten married in the first place.
Mm.
You know, now that I've grown and matured or whatnot, and I'll tell any young man, it's like, bro, if you don't see her as a mainstay in your life, don't make her a mother of your children. I solely got married simply because I thought it was the right thing to do for the children that I was having with her. You
Right.
know, we had the one child, then we had another one. We was living together. We was playing house.
Yeah.
And, you know, first time I was like, the first time she said, hey, we should get married and this and that and the other, I was like, no, no, no. you know,
Yeah.
next time, I caved into an ultimatum. And that right there, man, was like, that should have been my moment of clarity right there. Like, damn, she just gave you an ultimatum. Either do this or you won't be a part of your children's life.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucked
And
up.
so I'm sitting here, and so I caved in. It's like, okay, fam, because, the friend of the court was the big bad boogeyman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so got married. It was on. It was a day after Christmas. And now normally, bruh, she wouldn't hang out with my brothers and I. At the time I was drinking. So normally she wouldn't be around when I was drinking and kicking it or whatnot. But this Christmas night, she was there. You know, I'm hitting the brews and whatnot. I'm with my brothers are like, they looking like, she's still here.
Right, right, right.
And look, she's so like happy-go-lucky and stuff. I'm like, and that wasn't her personality, not with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, get home, whatever. Wake up the 26th, and I'm like, oh shit, where the kids at? Oh, I took them to my mom's house, and I'm like, huh? She's like, you don't remember we getting married today? I'm like, word? I'm like, damn.
You said what?
I'm just a hella blow, like damn. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, and I'm still like, I'm like, did I tell her something while I was drunk? So, we get dressed or whatnot because my clothes all laid out for me, the whole 9 yards and shit. I'm like, we drive down to the little chapel on, at that time, it was between 7 and 8 Mile on Livernois.
Hmm.
We pull in, bro. Long story short, man, the woman was asking us about, do you take her to be your? Man, I bust out laughing, bro. I that right there should have let me know, like, bro, don't do this, bro. I had an uncontrollable laughter going on,
Wow.
and when I finally got through with it, got home, the homies, man, I told a couple of the homies or whatnot. I ain't tell nobody else. She was telling people. That right there should have let me know, like, bro, you shouldn't even have done this, bro. And so it was turbulent, bro. It was up and down, arguments. It was it was more silence than it was arguments. And for me, I think silence is worse than the arguments. At least if you argue, you know what you kind of arguing about.
Right.
But it was
Yeah.
silence. It was cheating, it was infidelity. It was all that shit, bro. Everything. It was everything, bro. And it was like, woke up this one morning, bro, and it was one of those. I gotta go. I can't do it no more. And I thought I was doing the honorable thing. They said men need to be men and just say what it is. So that's what I did. I went to her. I said, "Hey, I don't think we should do this anymore. You're unhappy. I'm unhappy. Our kids see this. I don't want them growing up thinking this is the way it's supposed to be." And so
Um,
I thought I was doing the grown up thing. I spoke to her first before breaking out in the whole nine. And then next thing you know, all hell broke out, the war in the courts. so so it was I knew in the beginning that I shouldn't have done it. I went against my better judgment.
yeah. Yeah, you know when you know when you know, like that saying that they say, you know when you know when you know. And now how old were you at that time, Sharp?
I was about, yeah, 20. My daughter, my daughter just turned 26. It's about 20, 26, 27, I believe.
Yeah, just the fact that you when you said 20, that was enough. You know what I'm saying? That was enough to know, like, because when you're in your 20s, man, I'm not saying that people who got married earlier in their 20s that it doesn't work. I mean, obviously Will's a perfect example that you can get married early from this point. I know before Will, a conversation before, I think you said like y'all was like high school sweethearts, like,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
13 and 15 years old, man. We was together and got married at 18 and 20.
Yeah, so that's actually, man, it's something very. I looked at life this way. I think there's something admirable about that. I think there's something about. I used to have this ideology, and we could talk about it, man. It's really a conversation that like finding love early kind of ones that work out, but then as you get older, you realize like, well, how do you define that? So that blew my theory out the water because like I know people who got married later in life or remarried and they at a better place because it took them time to mature, right? That
Yeah.
maturity level, like, so yeah, I agree with what you're saying though, Sharad, from this point, man. Because I think for me, it takes you time to grow up, man. I,
Oh,
I, I really do. I think it takes you time to mature. And me and
absolutely.
my girl was kind of having this conversation the other day about, she had asked me a question. It actually turned, how shit go in a relationship, end up turning to an argument over something that shouldn't even be a fucking argument. But, it's like she's asking me different. I said, well, did I change? And I'm like, no, I don't necessarily know I changed. I think there's maturity. I matured in some ways.
Yep.
And that maturity made me grow up and change this way. It's like, well, one don't have nothing to do with the other. And I was like, well, that may not be your definition of it.
Right. Yeah.
Maturity for me changed me, from that way. So I think when you grow up and you realize, like you said, Sherrod, you're in a situation like, yeah, man, as men, you trying to maneuver through this thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like you said, we all want to be I don't know, this the illusion that we think that marriage is equated to happiness. But really what we're looking for is being happy.
Mm-hmm.
Really that's what we are looking for. It's really and I think that's fair for men and women. We're looking to be happy.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't mean we're gonna wake up every day and it's gonna be happy, happy, joy, joy, da 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 all the
Right.
time. We know it's gonna take some work, some change, some shit like that. But I feel you though, man. It's hard, man. That shit is hard. But you got the moments when you do know, like, yeah, this probably wasn't the you know what? I'm not gonna say I regret getting married because I
Oh,
don't. I,
no, I
I don't. I
don't.
don't. I don't regret
It
it.
was a
Not at
lesson
all.
learned.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah.
Because I got married because I loved her,
Yeah.
and like Will said, there's a part of me that I still have a love for her, even through
Yeah.
all the shit that she's done and continue to do. Honestly, the games she still plays with my children at this point in time that I think are still games. But everybody got to go through their process and grow, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yeah.
yeah, divorce is just hard because for us as men, you always got to defend it because we always feel like we the ones who the women get to play the victim role of it, and we get to play the bad guy of it.
Yeah, we're always the villain in somebody's
Oh yeah,
in somebody's story. It
yep,
took a brother of mine to tell me that. He said, "Man, you're gonna always be a villain in somebody's story. No matter how good you done,
Yep.
yep,
whatever happens, you're gonna be the villain. Period. You the man." I said, "Damn, I never even no matter how bad the woman may have been, guess who's gonna get blamed? The
yep.
man."
Man,
He
yep,
could have been the best guy ever, but he's gonna get blamed for being that guy. Well, he should have stepped up. He should. It's gonna always be something we should have done.
It
We could
was
have been doing
always
everything.
something.
Yeah, it's
You
always
know,
something.
we
So
gonna get the blame no matter what.
no matter what, man. So and this platform is so needed because you always hear the woman's side of stuff, and they
yeah,
always have the upper hand on things. But there's never nothing for the men to say, "Hey, here's what we're going through." You
yeah,
guys ever want to know what the hell we went through?
yeah,
What was going on in our mind when this shit happened to us? Because it happened to the both of us.
yeah,
But nobody take consideration that we cry, we go through the motions, we punch at the wall, we scream and yell. We have those moments of emotions where we're going through every step, the same thing that a woman is going through.
yeah. We human.
Where's
Yeah,
our consideration in that? You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hey,
It's
you know
not. I
what?
mean, even I'm sorry. Even from this point, I'm gonna say this. I noticed this trend, like, it's not even necessarily a trend, but always happened. I think that I remember when I was getting married, like not the wedding date, but we were telling people we was getting married or got married at this point, somewhere around this time. And it's funny how so many women would come up and be like, they would congratulate her.
They call it
Yeah,
her day.
So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. That part right
yeah,
there, where like, it's her day, right? It's like give her what she wants for her day. And I'm like, I'm giving up my life as well too here. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that right there is the ideology, even though that's what carries on to this thing, man. Like it starts even from the beginning of that. The fact that Sherrod got an ultimatum at this point in time,
Right.
I don't know. I'm quite sure it does happen, but I don't know how many men would actually do that. You see what I'm saying? How many men would give a woman an ultimatum to get married from this point in time? You know what I'm saying? Usually you hear from the opposite side of it. It's
Yeah,
usually women like, look, nigga, you either gonna get married or blah, 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 blah. Like same
yeah.
thing with you. Will on the opposite end of it, at the end of it though, Will, it's like you wouldn't have, I'm quite sure my assumption is you wouldn't have done that to her. Like, well, damn, baby, let me get like 3 to 5 months to get my stuff together. I'm quite sure you wouldn't have been like, no, you getting the hell up out of here, and me and the kids gonna be straight. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because if
Right.
you would have done something like that, they'd be like, oh my God, he is such a terrible person.
Oh, he's such
Hey,
an
hey, look.
a-hole. What,
Hey,
what
Phil.
type of misogynistic shit is that?
Right,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
Hey,
Like,
right,
Phil.
what?
exactly, right.
Hey,
Yeah,
look. I call myself being the nice guy and trying to hold off the divorce papers to
Uh-huh.
after the holidays. Because I'm like, I ain't trying to interrupt the holidays, mess it up or whatever. Next thing you know, I get child support papers.
yep,
And I was
yep.
voluntarily just giving her the money week by week. But I
Yep.
said, I said, damn. So my attorney was like, bruh, in order to trump this, you got to come with the divorce.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I wasn't trying to play dirty. I wasn't
Nah.
trying to, I thought we were actually going to split, and because we had broken up a lot of times, and she had never kept the children from me. As a matter of fact, she was like, "Well, this is how we gonna do it. You get her this day, this," and we was literally always splitting it.
Yeah.
When it was finally over, now this is when she tried to fight me to where I got no time.
Damn.
Wow. That's yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
that part, that's crazy. Yeah,
that
I
that
think that's always the crazy part, man. Like you just, and I love how you said it too, because we walk in there like it's not no longer, it's not just us. It's like you said, friend of the court is that big bad boogeyman for us as men.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. The friend of the court is that big bad boogeyman. Like, well, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, you're gonna have to pay this money because you hear that stuff from other people, that other men that that you've went through it. It's like, man, shit, it's cheaper to keep her, bro. It's cheaper
I'm
to
about to
keep her.
say,
Yeah,
remember
I
that
heard that
song?
so
It's
much
cheaper
in
to
my
keep
life.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep it
you
a
know what I'm
keep.
saying? Yeah, but the reality of it is, but it's not because it affects your emotional health, it affects your
Yeah,
mental health.
yeah.
Like, who wants to be? You don't want to be in that, and you don't want her to be in it either. As much as
No, you
got
don't.
to deal with
You don't want your
everything else,
kids to see it.
you don't want your
Right.
that, like you just said earlier, Sherrod. Like, you know what I'm saying, man. I don't want the kids seeing this. Look, man, you know what I'm saying. Like, this ain't a what's up. But women get to create that narrative
Yeah.
of play this victim role of constantly being a victim in this way. And as men, you always got to be the one on the defensive. Like, you always got to defend your position.
Yeah. All
And
the
it's
time.
Yeah,
And
like
that shit
it's
get old after a while, man. And that's where
yeah,
the
oh,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah,
that don't give a fuck comes out no more. It's like fuck everything and everybody. Y'all
yeah,
want to treat me like this? I don't give a fuck. So
yeah,
say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I don't fucking care anymore. And when that comes out, oh, he's just a total fuckhole now. And it's like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what? I can't win for doing this. I can't win for doing
Yeah.
just
yeah.
do you, and I'm gonna do me. We good. So trust me, boy.
All right.
Yeah, but you know what? But
Now,
come out of that, like you said, lessons though.
Yeah,
Like,
lessons, man.
yeah, it's emotional lessons, and you got to be on that. You're gonna go on this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
Period. That's
okay.
absolutely.
Now I'm
you
glad
know,
you said that. I'm glad you said it because we're not going to do all 10 questions, but I've been kind of looking at some of the heavy hitters, and you
Yeah.
just led me into the next one.